Hey YouTube. Like almost 20 years ago, I was having my last two children. I was gonna be a mother for my last two times. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I, the last child that I had, I brought him home. I had two babies on me. I brought him home, and I just couldn't stop having a headache. My headache, I just feel like my head was gonna explode. Like I couldn't do anything. Excuse me. I couldn't do anything to make it stop hurting, and so I smoked some weed. My head was banging after that, and then I lay down. Everything I did just made my head hurt worse. Then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and then I was blind. I couldn't see, and then my head was really hurting really bad. And so at that time I was married, and I told the person that I was married to at that time that I can't see. I need help. So he rushed me to the hospital, and then they said they had to do an emergency brain surgery on my pituitary gland because I had an abscess on it. They thought I had a tumor on it. So they were telling them that I was going to die. I mean, they were for sure telling them that I was going to die. I was like, why would they say that? They didn't really know. Like, but they were, that's what that's what they thought it was. And so I went into emergency brain surgery, and they come to find out, God blessed me with the abscess. It was an abscess on my pituitary gland. And they were like, it was right there, but actually it's in about this far, like in the head, like where the third eye is. That's where it is. You know what I'm saying? So it has something to do with if you can taste, if you can, your senses. It has something to do with your senses, your sight, your equilibrium, your balance. Like I was in physical therapy. I'm still in physical therapy. I'm willing myself uh back to health every day. And some people be like, "Oh, Raven's finna go on her crazy saying her crazy stuff again, Raven." All of the experiences I had in my life, I'm the only one who I know with the experiences I've had in my life. You know what I'm saying? So no one can compare and have full understanding of what I have went through. So I may seem awkward, weird, or indifferent to a lot of people, but like I was explaining to them, you haven't had anybody to touch your brain, and you haven't had brain surgery. It probably doesn't look like I had brain surgery from how my hair looks, from my hair, because it wasn't right here. They went under my top lip. It was like face off. They went under my top lip, behind my face, up my nose, up to my brain. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. And when I woke up, I didn't hardly have any memory. I had to I had amnesia for a little while. And I had to they just kept repeating stuff to me like I knew what it was, and then I just started agreeing because I didn't want to be in the hospital no more. But I wasn't finna sleep with that man. They kept on saying it was my husband. I kind of felt a kinship to him, and I kind of knew what they were saying, but I couldn't for real be like, yeah. And then the children, I just went with my natural feeling towards them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say, oh, it's a mother feeling. I just felt different from the time of who I was before and who I was after. I knew it was a difference because I told the person that I was married to that I'm whoever you were married to before, I'm not that person. I'm not who she was. I to this day, I still feel the same way. You know, and that I think that's one of the reasons why we got a divorce, besides from other things that I just won't give mention to, because none of that stuff has anything to do with me. I just didn't want to have anything to do with any of that stuff. So I just was like, I'm out. So 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 I'm hypoglycemic, so my weight fluctuates. So it was the consequence that I paid for love. Because you're doing something good doesn't mean it doesn't have consequences. Good and bad things have consequences, is what I've learned in this life. So imagine what good and bad consequences await us after life. You know what I'm saying? We may have done all the right good things, you know what I'm saying? But every right and good thing and every bad and not so good thing, they both have uh equal amounts of consequence, because God reigns on the just and the unjust. So for example, I'll give an example of some of the weird things that I've been involved in my life that God has allowed me to be. One day I went to this place because I have no idea. Someone told me it was a food bank, and I was gonna go and get food from there. It was not a food bank. I got in there and got involved. I'm sitting down. I am involved in an NAACP meeting with doctors and like with big wigs. Like, I'm the only one who doesn't have credentials in there. And I'm one of the main people speaking. And through the grace of God, um, we were able to understand how people from a young age are trained to go in the direction that they should go, and how they won't be fall away from the direction if you bring them up in the direction they should go, just like in the Bible. you know um and then and it was just crazy. It was just crazy for me to be there. I wasn't invited. I was just there. I'm the only one that was there that didn't have the credentials that everyone else had. And another thing, I stopped going to high school in 11th grade. I didn't even finish 11th and the 12th grade, but then I went on to live my life, and then I went and started doing humanitarian work, and then I was introduced to um, some very powerful people, and it wasn't just me; it was a group of people all over the United States, and so, and then my first mind and some other people was like, "You go and try, go and try." And then I went in there. It was a whole plane. It was like a table full of people just asking me questions, and I had to express myself and direct my answers to each one of them. And apparently I did a good job. They gave me a free scholarship to Pepperdine University. I never finished high school. I skipped the rest of high school. I skipped the GED, and I went straight into a private university that's accredited through the state of California, well, nationwide. And there was people who were wondering, how did I get in there? Because 60% of people don't. And they were having people come study us, and we have mentors and stuff. And I was able to have that experience. We graduated. They gave us our graduation meal was like around Thanksgiving, so they gave us a really fancy Thanksgiving dinner served on marble plates, hot dishes. It was just beautiful. We had pumpkin cheesecake and all kind of different stuff, and it was just like a feast. It was just crazy, and that's just give you a gist of some of the things that I've been involved with. Um, I've been a lot of different places that are hard to explain how I got there. So I know it's within the grace of God. He does have my going and my coming, and he does hold me in his hands. And who can take me out of his hands? Who can pull me from God's hands? No one.